We are live. Welcome everybody. I see we already got some people in the house. I want to thank you for coming along. We'll wait for everybody to get in here. In the meanwhile, there's already tons of questions, but I want to know where you're from because I know that I have subscribers from every country I've ever heard of have contacted me throughout the years, and I just think it's fantastic that, especially when we're on the live, that we can communicate from so far around the world. So definitely let me know where you're from and we'll get to the questions. I want to talk about what's going on in the markets today. Things are definitely looking wild, I'll tell you that. And there's something big that we're expecting soon. So definitely want to share as much as I can. Did they drop because there were no kittens, unicorns? Exactly. That is the obvious reason. All right. Wait for everybody to get in here. Thank you very much. All right. Just gonna. Okay. Good stuff. Let's see what we got. Day of reckoning. I need GPS to money. Is the eviction moratorium ending is going to be postponed? My opinion is that it's going to be postponed. I think the Fed is going to keep going. Dual mandate not met yet. I agree. At least that's what they'll claim. Highly doubtful the moratorium, yes. Or maybe he'll only excuse. You guys want to taper? Going to taper? Yeah. Nothing is so permanent the government program. That's very true. A downvote. Oh yeah, I love actually downvotes and upvotes are equal in terms of the actual like engagement factor. So it's fantastic. I love that. Greetings to all. Thank you again for showing up. I appreciate that. Easy. Follow the 10-year crude and the DXY. I'm here from the government and I'm here to help. The unholy trinity will tell the story of where cash is moving to. Okay. Currency collapse if going up or down. I'm not sure if that's a question. Okay. I ask, do you like water? Well, yes, I do. Love water. Push for a full 3. That we've been going way too long, guys, but I mean, it's amazing. All right, why did the market drop today? The market is dropping. Let me just be clear about that. It's all about anticipation of the Fed meeting. It's 100% what it is. Has nothing to do with the fact that, look, you look around, the reporting that have come out, the earnings, everything that's been, all the news related to these companies, except for a few things, has been positive. They're all just waiting for the Federal Reserve to come out, which we know what they're going to say, but it's just that anticipation, and then there's probably going to be a spike up afterwards. Look, they're going to say, you know what? We're going to be accommodative. We're going to be so gentle. We're not going to increase interest rates. We haven't got near our goal. And then that's the statement at 2 p.m. And then at 2:30 p.m., it might be a little bit more. But that's what we're going to get. You know why? Because that's what it's every single time, whether it's in the congressional testimony or whether it's in the official Fed statements. I think September is where things might get a little iffy, but we'll see. Until then, nothing. All right, Minnesota, Wyoming, Pennsylvania. It goes up and then it comes down, and we ask why, what is really happening in the world? That's the real question. I wish we all knew. Just when you stated that the markets won't crash, well, they may not, but a correction has started. We'll see. We'll see. Phoenix, Arizona. Seattle, plan B. Yes, you need your plan B always, and a plan C too if you can have it. Silver dropped close to 3% today. Interesting. Interesting. Can you what's going on with all the Chinese stock market? What are the regulations on the tech companies? Yes, Luke. So just in general, they're clamping down. They want to rein in on the exposure that they have. They want to be able to control where the money is flowing in and out of, and that's what Jack Ma's. So you have the Alibaba, and then you have the financial side of it, and they're basically trying to rein that in. They want full control over it. They don't want them to be too big. They want to make sure that they can sort of, once it goes to the US, they have less control over the operations. So they're trying to stop that. I don't know. I mean, internally, I don't know what's going on there, but it just shows how they don't want independence on the part of the different corporations. That's for sure. Melbourne. Did I pronounce that right? Probably not. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you for popping in. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up. All right. We got 130 people in the house. So growth stocks, the wrong way to go. Should I be in an index? I can't give you financial advice. What I just covered in the previous video to this one, which very few people watched. I mean, it was like a poor, very poor performing video. I talked about Jeremy Grantham and what he had said. Instead of going to growth, you should go towards that. If you watch that video, full explanation, okay? Beanie Babies, awesome. I'll buy 2 of those. If you have a Janet Yellen Beanie Baby, let me know. I'll buy that, whatever you have. Finally caught a live stream. Watch all the live stream videos. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate that. Bonds indicate deflation. How can that be? It seems impossible. I think part of it has to do with the fact that you have one very big player in the market just messing everything up. They are, the Federal Reserve, that is, they are just screwing everything up. And it's just, they know what they're doing. But anyway. Detroit. Thank you. All right. Okay, very soon I'm going to show you what's going on in the stock market. I have it ready to go on my TradingView. Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you for coming in. September is definitely an iffy time. Yes. September, October. Yeah, it is like seasonal the way it works. So we'll see if something happens. If it's just a small thing or if it's something bigger. What if they decide not to change rates? I don't expect them to change rates anytime soon. And even in September comes around, I don't think they'll change rates then. And I think more likely towards the end of the year, that's when they start either doing it or talking about it. I think until then, there's zero chance of I shouldn't say this, but even, it's being recorded. There's like a 0% chance of them increasing rates by the end of the year. Maybe you're going to get either talk of a taper or a little bit of a taper, or there's not just the Fed funds rate and the amount of money they're printing. That's the 2 main things. But of course, there's a lot of like little different things that they have. The rates that banks borrow money, and the reserve requirements and different things that they kind of tweak. Like maybe they start doing that first, but who knows? Okay, good stuff, guys. Louisiana. Dovish or hawkish? They only know one side, and that's the dovish side. Most of the market is already corrected. It's only the leaders that haven't. It's true. It's true. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the support again. Live stream is an insta click. Thank you. I appreciate you coming on in and the support as well. Will value investing make a comeback? Certainly. There was a rotation, actually. If you looked at it like last year into this year, that was taking place. Then that sort of changed back to the growth stocks. Like if you looked at Amazon from, I think it was like June 2020 to June 2021, the stock was almost the same. I mean, it had skyrocketed up to that point. I think it's June or July. I don't have it in front of me, but for 1 year, the stock was, trading within a range, and it ended up being approximately at the same level 1 year later. I could send you some nice beach pics for your background. Thank you, Bruce. You're in Bahamas? Is that why? Oh, there you go. Bahamas, yes. Nice stuff. Good stuff. I love Bahamas. Melbourne. All right. Close enough. Close enough. Business. Speaking of business, I want to talk more about business, guys. I would love to talk about it. That's why I made that course. But once I saw how the negative reaction to my Amazon course, I backed off. I really backed off of that. Here we go. All over the place. Idaho, potato, good stuff. Would you be interested in a Janet Yellen voodoo doll? I'd be interested in anything related to Janet Yellen at all. It's fantastic. All right. Debt ceiling coming. Yes, very true. I question whether the stock market will survive, but if you're going to invest, companies that make real commodities will be the ones that you want. Definitely a good point in there. With the money, GPS uses the word, can I describe? I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. I'm not sure what that means. Florida, Atlanta. Consumer cyclical and defensive got corrected significantly, but what about Tesla? Always in the sky because they hold the American economy. Yeah, like I think there's so much speculation and hype behind it, and that's kind of part of the deal. If you look at a website called Swaggy Stocks, I don't know if this still exists. I haven't checked it in a little while. Swaggy Stocks, it shows you the real retail sentiment behind the stock market. You can get some interesting look as to like what are institutional investors buying and what are the retail investors buying, and it often is a very, very different thing. And the eviction fallout, I think they'll just push it further. Alberta, thank you. DQ, I'm drunk and from Oklahoma. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate that. Orange County, good stuff. Thank you. Oklahoma, another one from Oklahoma there. Oh, that was the same. That was Eric as well. Okay, good stuff. Okay. All right. So let me show you what's going on here. Just a quick little update. We'll take a look together. I'm going to bring up, oops. Let me see if I can get this up. If I can. All right. Hey, bear with me, guys. Pulling up screen share. All right. So hopefully you can see this right now. This is Tesla's stock, and I was just looking at it, doing some quick analysis. And it just seemed interesting to me to see where we'll go from here. The stock went down today, and that was unusual because all things pointed to bullishness, right? They had something like $1 billion of revenue, and this is better than they've been in a long time. I think it's a record for them. Everything's looking fantastic on all different wavelengths. But then you look at the stock, and it went down. You look at Apple. Apple was taking a hit because they're saying that, because of the chip shortage and things, the iPads and the iPhones, they're going to be delayed. So here you got this, like the whole market being pulled down. Now, this is something also you got to understand that there's technicals going on behind that. Once we get the positive news, as always, from the Federal Reserve meeting, I think it's going to be very bullish. That will start at about 2 p.m., depending on if you're watching this live or not. 2 p.m., that's going to come out, and then 2:30 is the sort of the question and answer. By the time 3 p.m. comes out, that will all be done with, and so we will get a better look at that, I believe. Looking at the S&P 500, this is on the top of the Bollinger Bands. So Bollinger Bands are something that you should be paying attention to, along with the 20-day and 50-day moving average. It is very, very accurate in its sort of view in looking at any particular index or stock. In that, it's usually within the Bollinger Bands, okay? This is just, anytime it falls below it, it's a very good chance it will come back within it. It's crazy how it works, but this just tells you kind of a guideline of what to expect. And I'm noticing here that, we're on the top of the Bollinger Bands. Previous to this, if you just look at the 27th trading day, you will see peaks right at the top, and then, of course, comes back down from the 26th into the 27th. These things are very, you tend to see these things happening so often. Look at Bitcoins, okay? It is now above the Bollinger Bands. We've had a lot of volatility. It had exceeded 40,000. It's currently sitting at 39,000 and change. If you want to look at the QQQ or the NASDAQ, you'll see what the tech stocks are doing. Top of the Bollinger Band, found support around the 20-day moving average previously. We covered this before. And, you will see what happens over time with these particular stocks. But more than any of the technicals, more than anything, underlying all of this is the Federal Reserve and what they're doing. So the markets are waiting. They're kind of just letting things slide. They trim the winners. The professionals trim the winners. And now here we are going into tomorrow's trading session. We'll see what happens. Okay, that's just a little quick analysis. If anybody wants like more details, of course I can. I just try to keep it super simple as always, okay? So I'm going to start answering questions again. If anybody wants a deeper look at that, if you want a deeper look in business, if you want to talk about that, I am absolutely happy to do so. All right, let's get to it. You came here for the truth. Adelaide, Australia. Omaha, Nebraska. Say hi to Buffett for me. Apple, Microsoft dropped all day long, then blew out earnings after hours. Any thought on a macro level? It's crazy. I think this is just acting wacky because of the Fed. We'll see tomorrow. Like if the same kind of like iffiness happens, come let's say Thursday's trading session, then it's something's going on. Boulder, Colorado, Florida, Daytona, Omaha. I sold the property and not sure where to invest it. Where is the safest place to put the money until I invest it right now? It is in my checking account. Yeah, I wouldn't keep it in a checking account. It depends on what it is. I don't know why you sold the property specifically. Was it an investment property? Was it a personal property? I would say in general, you do not want to keep your money sidelined like that. You want to have it invested to some degree, not just because it's not insured most likely, but at the same time you want to have it working for you. Okay, so I would start looking around. If it's an investment property, make sure to do a 1031 exchange so you could roll over any potential gains that you had throughout this period. It doesn't say where you are here, but if you're in an area where you can reasonably get another piece of real estate and you're interested in getting another piece of real estate, then definitely do that. Roll over those profits, right? And you won't have to pay the taxes on it, as you probably know. It depends on where you are, right? Like there's so many questions to ask, but certainly I would say that if the real estate is reasonable and you were comfortable doing that, then you could do it again, right? It's not a big deal as long as it cash flows. This is the key. Everybody listening, as long as the property cash flows on day one, that's the key. Big fan of your work from India. Thank you. It's late in India, and yes, I do recognize you. Thank you for coming on in again. Florida, from Alberta, Wild Rose Country. Good stuff. Idea on food trucks. I love the idea of a food truck, actually. I think it's great because it's mobile. You have one part of town that's not doing real well today because of this or that. Maybe it's like a lot of people, they open up a shop downtown Monday to Friday. This place is booming because all the people from the big towers are coming along and they got to grab a quick bite. But now it's Saturday, it's Sunday. It's a ghost town in the downtown core. What do? Well, you could take your truck and now you move it uptown because people are maybe going shopping uptown and things like that. So you have that mobility, you decide. I also just like the fact that because it's mobile, that things change. So you can be mobile too. There's of course regulations and health restrictions and all these things, but that shouldn't be stopping anybody. I think it's great, and you could probably flip that business. If a taco place doesn't do good, you can make burgers, and you could do for a relatively small change in what you could do. I think it's good in general, as a general thing, but you got to look at the other food trucks in the area. Talk to some of the food truck owners. Go there 3 days in a row. On the third day, start asking questions about the food trucks, right? That's what I would do. Start asking questions. So many people have incredible amounts of consumer debt. Why would the governments and powers that be want hyperinflation when they already have people in debt? That's a question. That's a good question, actually. So why would they, when you think about it, okay, hear me out. Why would you want to destroy a currency? Think about it. Does anybody want to think about that before I say it? You would destroy a currency because you want to bring in something even worse. That's my thoughts. All right. Pick a wild raspberry today. That's awesome. That is awesome. Do you use the website fallingfruit.org? Let me know. Fantastic resource. Florida. Remember to like the video. Yes. Hit that like button. You got to do it. Only about 5% of people do it. So I appreciate those who do. Good stuff. Foraging. Lots of places to forage. Check out. I posted about this on my social medias, Instagram and Facebook and so on. Fallingfruit.org. Check it out. Some people were saying it's not good for them. I guess it depends on what area you're in. From Taiwan. Awesome. If we can invest in BlackRock or Vanguard, we would all be wealthier, I feel. Yeah, I mean, they just collect. They're like a vacuum for cash. There's no doubt. None of them made it home. For sure. I like that. Thank you, Anne. I appreciate that. Thank you, David. The apes aim to the moon. I'd like to aim further to Mars. This is Reddit. I think that's some Reddit discussions there. So many people have incredible amounts of consumer debt. Oh, this is the one I answered. Idea on food trucks. Yeah, see, this is what happens. I scroll down. Sometimes you scroll and then it throws you right down to the bottom. All right. Everyone, including the GPS, thinks the Fed won't say anything new. Here's $5 that says they make an unexpected hawkish move and shock everyone. Anthony, it's possible. It's not the likely scenario. Thank you for the donation, by the way. It's not the likely scenario, but anything is possible. I mean, maybe. It's just really, really unlikely simply because they've been really, like, not just in the Fed statements, not just in their actions, but like even when they're being interviewed, all the different Fed members, they're really saying, we're not even close to doing this. It's not going to happen. Don't worry, don't worry. So now to say something would be a real 180 and it would have a direct impact on the markets. I would love that because there has to be some semblance of reality in these markets, which there hasn't been for a very long time. It would be nice, but thank you, David. Bobby, thank you for showing up. Baked potato loaded food truck. I like that idea. I like that. You can feed a lot of people like that. Greetings from Brazil. Thank you. See, we got people all over the world. Manchester. Awesome. Will there be another lockdown? Some places, look, ask my friends in Australia right now, lockdown. So it's very possible, especially as we go more towards the end of the year, depending on what happens here. The Bahamas. We got a few people from the Bahamas. It's amazing. It's amazing. Good stuff. Roll over those profits using a 1031 exchange. Money GPS is right. Yes, definitely. If you're going to buy another property. The bear is coming for stocks, bonds, and fiat. Ride the bull with gold, silver, and lead. Do you think there will be any more stimulus checks? I actually do. I think there'll be more. Maybe it won't be the 1,400, whatever the case may be. It might be less, but I think it'll more than likely be the case, especially if the unemployment numbers look weak. When the government provides stimulus checks, the bill contains 90% additional funds and all other funds, and you only get 10% of it. 100% true. I've documented that here on the channel. It's very, very true. Maybe research some good mining companies unless you take delivery of the actual metals is how I'd hedge. There's different ways to hedge. The actual metal itself is generally what people do. The miners, the problem is that it trades more like a stock. rather than the metals themselves. You got to know what you're doing. There are people who make tons of money. How do I trade my earnings? How much should I sell after earning profit from a stock? Do I take all my earnings so it's zero level? That is up to you. When you originally buy anything, whether it's a piece of real estate, property, you want to invest in that, or whether it's a stock or anything, you should know kind of what your point of exit is going to be. Most retail investors, they're buying in because of whatever that might be, and they don't have an exit plan. So I can't tell you what to do. Of course, that would be financial advice, but I would say that you kind of risk off. If you've got too much overexposed, it's based on your portfolio more than anything else. So if you have, let's say, a risk part of your portfolio, you got to look at that and start to think to yourself, okay, where did I put too much money? Where did I make these gains? And also, where have I lost some and it's simply just time to just cut the dead weight? All of these things right now, I think, are part of a rebalancing that should take place on a relatively often. You should be doing that relatively often, I think. Anyway, not too often because things happen. It depends. Are you swing trading or are you long-term investing? So many things to consider, of course. What's the forecast for Montreal? Yes, Montreal. Real estate prices had they hadn't gone quite as insane as Toronto, Vancouver, but the prices did go very high. Real estate throughout Canada, I think, is incredibly overvalued, and that includes Montreal. That's about all I can say about it, to be honest. Great city, I should mention that. Howdy from Texas, thank you. Appreciate you coming on in. Will be another lockdown? I think I answered that one. Yes, I believe so. Destroy currency to destroy the people. That has always been the goal. And they do it every so often. It's not something new, right? Problem, reaction, solution. Yes. Oh, now I lost it again. This chat is not the best here. We got the thumbs up. You have all the assets. Yeah, you want to have all assets if possible. Use the algorithm trick, looking like it's working. So far, the performance of the channel has been very terrible. The views have declined considerably. I've received, it's generally been down. So the algorithm thing is definitely not happening, even though I'm bringing a little bit of outside traffic in. Unfortunately, just not enough people share the videos or give the thumbs up or sign up to the insiders, so then they go in and bring the outside traffic in. That's just the nature of it. But I'm still doing what I have to do. I'm coming in every day. I'm showing up. I'm doing what I have to do. That's it. Okay. What are your thoughts where the cryptocurrencies are going? Right now, I showed the chart earlier just of Bitcoin specifically. It's looking rather bullish over those last few trading sessions, or a few days, I should say. But, there's a lot of talk of it declining. Right now, it's too iffy, I would say. But, if we start moving over 40 and staying over 40, that is a very good sign. I just think that when investors... Like, a lot of people that have bought into Bitcoin don't care about Bitcoin at all. It's purely price speculation. So that would be the first thing they sell. They want to sell that because ultimately they love their Amazon and Apple stocks and all these tech stocks and so on better than they like their Bitcoin. Bitcoin was kind of just a little fun thing for them and they made a lot of money on it. So they're going to take their cut. CBDCs are going to be the end of freedom as we know it. They can say you are a criminal, boom, no more access to funds. Yeah. If there's any way that you can avoid it, definitely, I would definitely avoid them, but we won't be able to do so. Will there be another lockdown? John, I hope you saw earlier when I talked about that. The smart people doing the Great Depression didn't turn in their gold as directed. Yeah. Can't say anything about that, but been watching for almost 3 years and learning and listening, and what I've concluded is the financial system is too complex, too wishy-washy, and too exclusive for the insiders. It's a mess. It's worse than what we're being told. There's no question about it. People need to realize it. People need to understand the the level of complexity as you talk about here. And you as an individual, though, you don't need to know about all the derivatives. You don't need to know about the formulas that make up these derivatives and every company that's involved in them. What you need to know is the basics of how to get yourself in order, how to get your finances in order. The Money GPS is entering what I would call like the Money GPS 3.0 or maybe 2.5, and this is another evolution. You've seen a bunch of changes happening to the channel here. I'm now taking up my social media to the next level. One of the things that I'm going to have heavy focus on is, yes, here's the information, what do you do with it? Here's the information, what can you do with it? One of the first things I introduced was the insiders, oh my goodness, the Money GPS Insights. And this Money GPS Insights is my way of kind of slowing down. Yes, article, chart. And now, what does it all mean? So now I'm going to get more into that. I hope you do appreciate that. I'm going to take this thing to the next level. I want the Money GPS to hit 1 million people. That's my goal, 1 million subscribers. And that would be huge. That would be like 10 million if I didn't have the shadow ban on me. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going all the way. There's no doubt in my mind that I'm getting there. I hope that you will be with me on that ride. It's going to be a fun one. All right. Do you think silver will break free? Not yet. That's for sure. I think first we'll probably see a maybe. I mean, this is speculation, of course, that gold is going to have a rise up before silver does. So you watch gold, you'll see silver. What is a $20,000 low risk investment in such volatile times? Donnie, okay, so I'm going to do a video about this, Donnie, so stay tuned. I'm going to do what would you do with $100, what would you do with 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, and so on. With $20,000 low risk. Could you buy a storage locker with that in the area that you're in? Can you access storage lockers? It's going to be cheaper than 20,000. With 20,000, I would do Amazon FBA. There's no question about it. I mean, you're talking about low risk. You want to have full control. Yeah. So I would do some sort of business opportunity. I would look at either storage lockers. I would look at Amazon FBA. I would build up some sort of business. I would try and, yeah, I got to think about that because when I do the videos, stay tuned for those videos, okay? It's going to be in a playlist on my YouTube channel. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm really going to sit down. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to organize this all out and kind of move things around so that, it's not just off the top of my head. So definitely stay tuned for that, okay? Eric, thank you very much for the support. I really appreciate this. You should look into Holo and Holochain, new decentralized internet and P2P hosting network that's impossible to censor, immune to cyber attacks, and the creation of a value-stable asset-backed cryptos infinitely scalable. Interesting. Okay, I will. I definitely will. Thank you. There are so many things coming out. Now, I don't think that most of them are going to be around here in a little while, but I'm grateful that there's all these people trying to create things, even if they do not last, even if tomorrow they're gone. At least they tried to create something better instead of just saying, this is it. What can we do? What can we do? No, we got to create new things. We have to do things. And this requires individuals to get on them, to be on them, and to use them and share them and talk about them and so on. Okay, that's the only way it's going to happen. If we sit back, it's never going to happen. So I'll check those out. Thank you very much. Digital currency on the way. Yes, I do believe so. Fed announcement. We want a market melt up. I think they've been clearly saying that. Currently finishing up a book and working, getting my YouTube channel going. Awesome, James. Good stuff. Don't just do YouTube. Do Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. Get them all. Get them all. Post. Even if it's the same content, post it on all the different platforms, okay? Trust me. Hey, John, greetings from New England. All right. I don't know who John is, but John, greetings. Stimulus. Need a 1031 exchange intermediary to make it practical to undergo the requirements to have a deferred gain. You got to look up the area. You got to look up all the details. You got to talk to your attorney. You got to talk to your accountant. These things all need to happen. There's fine print, of course. But if there's ever an advantage you can take it. Businesses, like that's real estate, but businesses have incredible advantages that a 9 to 5 person just doesn't have. People say, well, the rich do this, the rich do that. The tax code is written by rich people. So they are building these things for themselves because they have assets, because they have different businesses on the side. They are able to create this for them. Now you could say, well, that sucks. No, don't do that. Close the loopholes and so on. It's not loopholes. It's not loopholes, okay? You got to understand the way that the structure is built. You got to take advantage of it, okay? That's just the way it is. And you will. Stay tuned to the Money GPS. I'm going to tell you everything, okay? Because I've devoted my life, 15 years, devoted my life to learning information, despite the fact that this is like a concrete. Don't let that hold you back. Watch the Fed dump more corporate bonds and reduce the reverse repo rate down to zero. We'll see. We'll see. Do you think we'll see a housing crash, or will they print enough for a crash up? Anything is possible. I think if interest rates do rise, though, that's going to be very, very difficult for people. And there's only so many mortgage-backed securities they can buy, and it doesn't really impact the market anyway. So I think that interest rates rising because of inflation. They just won't increase interest rates. GPS, I hate you. I get that all the time. They don't have a choice if inflation is getting hot. It is right now. Your video a while ago about having an exit strategy was really helpful. Thank you. What is your guess for major Canadian cities? I'm not sure what you're referring to exactly, but certainly it's a ridiculous bubble for real estate in most cities, even the small cities. I was watching some cities. We're talking about these places are not desirable, okay, for most people. They don't have any business. There's no jobs there, and yet the prices are going up 30% year over year. Are you kidding me? People that live there that are making let's say $20,000 a year, now they can't afford a house. It's just terrible because the money is coming from the city moving to the towns. This hurts people. What are your thoughts about inflation? I talk about it a lot. I don't like inflation. We should have deflation. Will the semiconductor industry move from Taiwan to the USA? Only Gov's pressure. It takes a long time to set up semiconductors to actually make them produce. And let me be honest with you. If you've ever dealt with China, you can hate them, you can love them, doesn't matter. If you've ever dealt with them, they've got the logistics down packed. They can get something from China into Amazon's warehouse better, faster, less mistakes than you can get it from an American factory into Amazon. Think about how crazy that is. That doesn't even make sense. But when you actually look at it and try to do it, I'm telling you right now, you can't even get things made in the US, Canada, UK, what have you. It just doesn't happen anymore. Look at these high-end brands, Burberry and all this. They're making a lot of their products in China. High-end products even. It's not cheap stuff. People say, oh, it's all that cheap stuff they make in China. Everything's being made there. And you could say that's bad, that's good, and that's what's happening. I just show you the economic side of things. It's crazy. We've outsourced everything. Everything's been outsourced. It's gone. You can't get it back. It doesn't reverse. You're so behind. Like the Western countries on manufacturing, for some cases, are like 20, 30 years behind in some cases. Donnie, I'm a little bit, everybody watching this chat, I'm like way behind on answering. So 20,000, I did answer that. Talked about it a bit. Pensacola, thank you. Okay, I'm just going through trying to get all the questions here. Probably 30 years till retirement, protecting my assets. The goal, what would you consider a gold IRA or a 401k? I would always want the IRA self-directed so I could control it myself. I think that's the best possible thing that you can do. In my opinion, it's probably better to have a lot of people want that paper. A lot of people want things structured. Maybe their employer gives them a certain thing, and that I get it. Otherwise, I would want the assets to be in my control 100%. The Money GPS is a very good channel. Thank you. No love by, yep, that's true. All right. Guys, please click the thumbs up and the like. Yes, please do. Dead cat bounce, that certainly could happen. We've had a few of those. Don't hold cash in accounts, got it. But in your opinion, investing in this bloated real estate is prudent, or did I misunderstand the chatting? Yeah, like I said, if it cash flows day one, you've got a fixed interest rate for 25 years. You know that this thing is likely to be there. It's in a good area. All the fundamentals coming through. It's a different scenario than a personal residence. I'm talking about investment property. It's different than a personal residence. You do that because you want the school for your kids. You want the nice neighborhood. You're living next to the family. All these things are factored in. Investment property is a different scenario. Some places it doesn't make sense. You can't make sense of it. And you say, well, if the house prices keep going up forever and ever, well, then I'll be okay. That's not a way to do that in investment property. Okay, so you want to do that. Now you can put your money anywhere really, but you want something stable. You want the cash flow. You want that cash flow, and you also want an area. If you're gonna buy real estate as an investment, you want to make sure that landlords have rights too. That's just one thing that for a lot of people, it's just the way it is. They haven't been paid. So, all right. See what we got. 3-year listener here too. Thanks for what you do. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Seems you're just kicking the can down the road. Will the insanity ever end? Yes, it always does. If you remember 1929, we are on a permanently high plateau. 2 months later, the most devastating crash that they had ever seen up until that point. So, and things like, for instance, did they ever think that interest rates, I think it was 1980, that interest rates would ever hit that level, 20%? I mean, no, that is impossible. Like, you ask them in like 1970, that's impossible, will never happen. And then what happened? Right? So yes, it's just a matter of what the conditions that get them there, okay? Oh, wow, look at this. The spammer. Yes. Can I upvote this? How do I do this? Can anybody upvote that? I don't have any options on my end. The spammer is in the chat. This is fantastic. Do you think it's it must be a human then? Can you get on? This is hilarious. I commend their efforts. They are so good because there's like 50 comments on every one of my videos. Actually, I should put out a notice here right now. Everybody, I actually had somebody getting scammed. There was on my Instagram, somebody set up a channel called the Money GPS _. Then they started messaging everybody and saying, oh, hey, this is my backup channel. I don't want to talk about crypto on my other one. So, hey, do you want to learn about crypto? And they started messaging back and forth. And, the person knew my name, like everything. So they did like somewhat of research. It wasn't just a bot. And then I heard from somebody who actually got scammed out of $500 because, hey, it's me, right? They thought it was me and they made it sound very convincing. You would know if it's me. Please don't get scammed. Don't get look for me with the check mark on any of the platforms that they allow me. I got rejected from a couple of I tried to submit my check marks on a couple things, but unfortunately. But anyway, don't get scammed, please. Dude has been stuck at 268 subs forever. Yeah, unfortunately, this is the shadow banning process, and what can you do, right? 10 million, you can do it. Excellent. Forever. Keep doing what you do. Thank you. Do you think GME entering the S&P 400 in August will go higher? I don't know. I mean, I think it's just silly with all that stuff that's been going on. That's just the way That's my opinion about it. I know there's a lot of like people love it and so on. I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know why. Like you're putting on real money here. This is real. It's not a game. Thank you for the donation. I don't know what the reference is here. Maybe there's something. I'm not sure, but thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, I have so many comments. Let's do this. Let's do this, guys. I'm already 45 minutes in, okay? Let's go. Amazon takes 32% commission. Nope. No, not 32%. Are you talking about Amazon affiliates? What is that reference? $200 for a pair of work boots. Jobs are expensive. Yes. But hopefully you're able to write that off. Self-sustainable farming and such good stuff. So you can pay for your boots in the first 5 hours of overtime. Gold standard is impossible. Not enough gold in the world for that. But is there a currency collapse when a silver standard afterwards? No. So it has nothing to do with the amount of gold or what have you. It's about control, and that's why they went off the gold standard in the first place. So they're not going to go back onto it, I don't think, or a silver standard. Like they don't want the security and stability. That's the whole point. All right. Let's all crowdsource a business together, sort of a co-op. We seem to be like-minded individuals. That would be very cool. Where can we find the evidence that the Rothschild family owns virtually the entire banking system and still owns the trillions of dollars that the ancestors created? So there are like documentaries out there that show a little bit. There's a lot of conspiracy and a lot of it not proven to be fact, but there is information out there if you want to check it out. You got to watch where they get into, like things that are just not proven. But I do believe that if you just look at their history and realize how connected they are, you can, research the family tree. You see how they're connected. Rothschilds and the Rockefellers actually do business together as well. So, the whole thing runs real deep. How is Amazon FBA faring with all the global supply chain issues? I would love to do it US-based manufacturers, but it may not be profitable. If you can actually find the US-based manufacturer for anything, let me know. That's not a joke. I'm being serious. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. In terms of, so the supply chain issues, you have a little bit more of delays. So what they're telling you in the news and the prices and so on, like a container, shipping a whole container from Shanghai to LA is 4 times the cost of what it was, January 2020. So that the cost has gone up. But they were down, in my experience, they were down for 5 weeks. 5 weeks. 4 of those weeks were the New Year's, the Chinese New Year. They were down for a week extra. That's it. This is crazy. Lockdown? Are you kidding me? Get back to work. Get back to work. That's what they told them. Like this is it's a totally different world. So yes, there are, problems that they're having. There's no doubt about it. But ultimately, the delays have not been that significant. So something weird is going on here, guys. I'm telling you right now, something very strange is going on. Because in my experience, yes, there are delays. Yes, there are price increases somewhat, but something's not right. That's my experience. All right. Did you see the Bank of Canada exploring the potential benefits of inflation overshooting right up on the line? What a joke. I didn't see that, but they're all doing the exact same thing. What are your thoughts on Apple after earnings? Apple's an extremely strong company. There's no doubt about it. They're incredible for what they do. Now that they created the M1 chips, they already have their own chips in their phones and so on. This means they have more control over the supply. They have, they're probably one of the most important companies in the world for what they do. They're supplying phones, computers, screens, keyboards and mice and everything else. So they're an extremely important company long term. They look like you're going to continue to grow. There's really no downside that I can see right now in terms of their financials. I haven't really looked at it, so you need to look deeper into that. My bad, I thought your name was John. No worries, no worries. You can call me John. I don't mind. All right. Amazon's not worth it. Sold many years ago, didn't like it. Customers like to buy and return. Only place with high return rates. eBay is way better for retailers. eBay can be good, but Christine, were you doing FBA? FBA, fulfillment by Amazon? That's a very different scenario. FBA is, in my opinion, it's great. You got to get a good product. You have to confirm that this product is very strong, that people are going to like it, that they're going to rave about it and tell their friends, and then it's a different story. If you're trying to sell what's called a Me Too product, then I would not do that. I bought Apple in 98 for $8 a share and sold it in 2012. Yes, it happens. Hey, but I'm sure you did well. Don't look at the downside there. All right. Kitten and unicorns. We need some of those. People got upset when I had the kittens in the background, so I can't do that anymore. Thank you for the truth. 60 miles from NYC and experiencing that influx. The no fear t-shirts need to make a comeback. All right. Watch the VIX explode tomorrow after the Fed comments on their current bond exports tapering soon. They will reduce the reverse repo rate back down. Let's see. Let's see. I'm interested. I'm interested. Do you think the GME? So I talked about this before. I'm not sure if it was the same. You were the same person asked earlier. I don't know what the the desire is for GME and AMC to go up. Like if you think you're getting, I saw some comments, like we're getting the hedge funds. Okay, the hedge funds will get themselves. Trust me, most of them will go bankrupt. You don't have to worry about them. Most of them are terrible. Okay, like hedge funds aren't like these rich guys. Okay, that's a misconception. There's a few that you see these rich guys, and most of them will just go bankrupt and probably ruin a lot of lives on their own. Don't worry about it. So all these primo clowns are like special or something. Sorry, thank you for the support. I don't know what the reference is. Primo clowns or special or something. I don't know. If you clarify what that is, I can respond to it. Appreciate it. Thank you, Susan. As always, I appreciate your support. And there's so many comments. Every channel has the scammers. Yes, yes, yes. Crazy how many scammers there are. Janet Yellen. Good night, Dave. We are encouraged to ask you anything. So, Lester, I can't get into that subject, unfortunately. Can't talk about it. On this platform, cannot talk about it. So, it's just the way it is. There's certain things you cannot talk about. I've deleted hundreds and hundreds of videos from my channel. Didn't help with the algorithms and so on, but yeah, previously I would talk about that stuff. You know you made it when the WhatsApp scammers are in your chat. Congrats. Oklahoma. I got scammed out of $500 buying pink sheet miners. Butch. Be careful. I was scammed out of $7,000 before from someone online. Yeah, guys, be careful. Don't give your money. Don't give your money to these people, okay? All right. I'm running so far behind here. All right. Butch, thank you for coming on. Have you read Industrial Society and Its Future? No, I have not. I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks while I exercise now. I think that's the way for me to get more information in. Have you looked at? Yeah, I've been asked this question before, not specifically. There's so much hype. If the stock has too much hype around it, I basically just shy away, which is kind of silly in a way, but I just that you know that the eventual end is bad. Like there's too much hype. Like even a stock like Apple doesn't have as much hype as a lot of these stocks like GME and others, right? So I just want to stay away from that. How does Ethereum and blockchain affect Amazon? Nothing right now, but apparently they're going to be getting into that. We'll see what happens. They denied it so far, but they also denied they were making a car. Then they fired a whole bunch of people. Okay, I'm scrolling, guys. I'm scrolling. I'm getting to it. 55 minutes in. I feel like we're not even close to the bottom here. Do you feel the gold price is manipulated? Yes, 100%. To push the price higher. Yeah, so absolutely 100% the price is manipulated. We get that all the time. There's so much information surrounding that. And will it ever be allowed to be pushed up? I'm not sure. I don't care about the price personally. I think that it should be held indefinitely. You pass it down to the next generation. More and more homeless. Yes, I have noticed that all around the world, in fact. Is buying the dip a good idea? You could buy the dip, but I mean, what do you like? Do you like sour cream? Do you like a hummus dip? I mean, it depends, right? Lots of fishy stuff has happened. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Things that make you question what's happening. I can't get into certain things on this channel, but definitely, gotta like keep active. That's what I would say. The market will only head up and up over time. Ask Japan what they believe about that. I'm in Montreal. I ordered 2 things from China with Amazon Prime, and it was so quick. That's right. They've got it really down packed, whether we like it or not, guys. And that shows you that we have allowed it to happen, and it's easier, it's cheaper, let's do it this way, and then you're left with nothing. You're left with nothing left, okay? Because you leave not just the manufacturing, but the logistics, and that's why you have some serious problems, big time. Okay, anyway. All right, Anthony wants some personal info. Favorite fast food? I haven't eaten fast food in a long time. I would say bananas. Does that count? Fast food. My favorite band is Tool. Tool is my favorite band, no question about it. Next favorite band would be Alter Bridge. And favorite holiday. Favorite holiday. I don't have a favorite holiday. Every day's a holiday. Every day's a holiday with the Money GPS. John is a good name. I agree. Coffee shortage. Are they coming? Some of the crops had gotten destroyed. Certainly the prices will be higher. I do believe that. John is not a good name as David. All right, good. Always great economic dialogue. Too good. Wong is better than David. GPS money is the best. Truth is the best. I agree with that. Referring to the 10 cities in the state of California, the public sector millionaires will say if it wasn't for us, they wouldn't be able to afford the tent. Okay, I'm almost down at the bottom, guys. Can you believe it? Freedom of speech? No. That's gone. All right. Do you have taco trucks near you? I don't. Let me think. No. That would be good though. Not gonna lie. Do you think holding physical copper is practical? It's not practical, but if you got a storage for it, you can make that happen. But I mean, then you're playing with, you literally have to physically hold this stuff, and moving that amount of metal, if you think like now's the right time to sell it, moving that amount of metal might not be so easy. You got to look into that. Maybe it's not bad. Maybe there's a place that will buy it off you, right? Truckers love tacos. Yes. Okay, guys, lots of comments in here. I'm trying to get to the questions. I'm late. Thank you very much for making it on. I think you've been in here every day, so I appreciate that. How much did the recent freight rates increase? Is this attributable to the new rules for shipping companies to go green? From what I understand from the people in the shipping industry, this is what I have heard, is simply that there is such demand. Okay, let me tell you this, how the shipping works. So right now, for air cargo, 80% of the stuff being moved around the world, okay, through air cargo, air freight, is done in the belly of the planes of commercial flights. So you're flying from whatever, let's just say to LA to Hawaii. In there's cargo in the belly of the plane, and that actually gets priority, by the way. So then you've got the cargo planes themselves. That's moving the rest of the 20%. Then there is sea shipping. All of these things have seen an increase in price, despite the fact that there are a lot more flights today than there were a year ago. The price hasn't let up. So I think there's multiple things going on here. Those in the industry who aren't aware of the deeper level of how this thing works, they are saying the demand has been incredible. And that is true. There's no doubt demand is higher. There's been much of the strain. If you look at Amazon, they've actually restricted the amount that you're allowed to send into their fulfillment centers. They don't have the room. They can't manage it. Okay. You look at 3PLs, third-party logistics. These companies here are on fire because now they have to move stuff around, not just for Amazon to be like a secondary to Amazon, but just in general. There's been this extreme demand when it comes to anything related to freight, whether that's going through the air, through the sea, ground shipping, whatever it might be. The prices are higher, but they're still like reasonable. So, this is between you and I and 250 people. When I shipped something less than truckload, which is basically, a pallet of stuff within the United States, this was approximately 6 cents per unit. Okay, so I'm shipping a product. It's about 6 cents per unit. That's cheap. Okay, 6 cents a unit. That's US 6 cents. And so, the prices aren't unreasonable, really. So when you look at a lot of the stats and things that you're seeing on the internet, things that I show on the Money GPS, a lot of that has also to do with speculation behind it. There's a lot of speculation that pushes the price up. Why do you think lumber went to 1700? Was it because suddenly we needed a lot more lumber? Suddenly all the different things were closed along the way? That's part of it. But there's speculation too. Remember that, okay? Okay, guys. Couple more and I'm out of here. It's 1 hour. We are over 1 hour. I said it at good stuff. Alter Bridge. Yes, Alter Bridge. Fantastic band. Favorite song? Favorite song is The Last Hero. The actual song on the album, Last Hero. The Last Hero, incredible. Saw them live in February 2020, actually. We still have freedom of thought. Yes, for the time being, we do. If you watch Minority Report, it's kind of worrisome. I've had better luck buying off AliExpress than Amazon for electronic merchandise. Yeah, it depends on the situation, but where do you think those are on Amazon are getting it from? They're getting it from Alibaba or AliExpress? Okay. Oh, now I lost the chat again. This happens all the time. Rush. Rush is a great brand. Okay. I'm getting to it, guys. I had the bottom before. Lockdown next week, probably too early. Depends on where you are, though. Economics of recycling. I've heard about recycling. I mean, I recycle. But I've heard it takes almost the same amount of energy to recycle as it does to just toss it. So I don't know. I really don't know. I think that the biggest problems we have today are like toxic waste and deforestation and things like this that are, quite frankly, things that shouldn't be happening. And thank you very much for coming on in. Like, you're here, so I'm here. All right? That's how it works. If you show up, I'll be here. I'll be here. From Disneyland. So only your grandchildren should spend your gold silver? No, they should never spend it. They should never spend it. Look at cultures of the East and look what they do. Look at what they do. They pass it down, they pass it down, they pass it down. Okay? Why can't you talk about things? The root cause. Why can't you talk about recent? So certain events you're not allowed to talk about on this platform, and they ban you, or in my case, they've shadow banned. China stock has lost about 80% recently. Talk a little bit why these stocks are selling off, and if there's a point of we should consider buying as a lotto. It's possible, but I know the risk is so high. Some people will make money. There's no doubt about it. Are you a communist? I don't know. That just sounds funny. What's a target cash flow for real estate income properties? It depends on the type of property. Is this a type A property? Is it a type C? So the lower the quality, essentially, you should be expecting a higher rate of return from it. Okay. I'm going. The future of Bitcoin. I don't know, but I could say definitely the cryptocurrencies are here to stay. It looks like there's going to be more companies that are accepting it, whether that's PayPal and Visa, or whether it's something else altogether. Amazon, there's rumors them accepting it, even though they've denied it so far. Who knows? And I think now that I just said that, I think I may have said Amazon developing a car, which I meant Apple developing a car. I hope everybody got that. Okay. All right. I came to Lebanon on vacation a month ago. Exchange was 1,000 US, 13 million liras. Now it's 24. Wow. Big devaluation. Big devaluation coming. Do you think this could happen to the dollar? Are you talking about, was that? Yeah. Yes. However, I think that it's not going to be so extreme right away. I think other currencies are going to have to fail first. Curious because he's always angry instead of just trying to teach people how to take advantage of the circumstances. We're talking about Gerald Salente. I think you may have mentioned that. Yeah, I don't know about him personally. I've never spoken to him, so I'm not sure. He seems good from the interviews. I've seen a few interviews of him. Money, you are appreciated more than you know. Thank you. Atari Legend, thank you very much for the support. I appreciate that. Everybody who gives the donations, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, bro, how are you? Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you coming on in. Nightly Taco Bell. Anyone want anything? Yeah, like I showed in that video, Taco Bell's got some shortages, so watch out. Blackbird. Yeah, Blackbird's a good song. Longtime fan. Tua, they just went on tour? Really? This year? You get to catch them? I didn't see them this year. I didn't know anything was open. All right. Okay, I'm almost done here, guys, and then we're going to take off. If anybody has any other questions, please put them down below. Miseducation system has worked perfectly. Yes. There are a lot of... If you read Charlotte Thompson Iserbyt's book, The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America, you're going to learn a lot. I assure you. Incredibly detailed book. Watch your videos daily. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. We always hear invest in crypto, only way you could afford to lose. But should we say instead keeping fiat money? Yeah, I agree. You want to have your money where it's safe, essentially. All right. Loving the Janet. Love the Janet. Okay. Good stuff. I ignore all the mainstream. Yes, same here. Okay, guys. I'm going to take off. Thank you very much for being here today. I'm going to go work on the video, which we'll post tomorrow morning. I've got you the details that you need to know. If there's any questions you have, you can contact me anyway. This right here, where is it? There it is. This is the insiders where you can get to contact me directly. You sign up to that. I email you the video of the day. I've got all kinds of information for you coming, lots of new things that are coming. Hope that you will join me on this journey of the Money GPS to $1 million. See you soon.